Hello and welcome back to beautiful, sunny, but chilly Northeast Ohio. Here we are getting ready to take the second part of our Odyssey from Southwest Florida to Cleveland to Columbus, back and forth a couple times. Now we're getting ready to go from Cleveland to New York City, which I think is going to be the most important and exciting part of the trip when we try to drive to, park in, and charge in New York City itself. So if you missed the first part of the video, please see the link below for that. That was the trip from SANIBEL to Cleveland, and then between Cleveland and Columbus, and our problem with our tire and other issues. So check that one out. But here we're going to get ready. We're going to spend the night tonight, and then dark and early tomorrow morning. We're going to head out for New York City with a full charge. I think we'll have 2 charging stops, and then we will be in the Big Apple. So come along with us.
Welcome back to E-Hermes, your electric adventure travel channel. Please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit that bell button to be notified of our upcoming content.
Well, good morning again. We are ready to head off to New York City. As we said yesterday, we are all charged up to 100%. We have the cabin nice and warm, and we are ready to hit the road. Let's see what it says. It says it will take us 6 hours and 27 minutes. It says it will take us 8 hours and 31 minutes. Of which 1 hour and 25 minutes is charging. We will arrive just before 1 o'clock. I don't think that's quite right, but we'll see. I think it's usually about 8 hours. I think with 2 hours of charging, because I want to get one more big charge before we get into the city. I think we'll get there about 2 o'clock, 2:15, 2:30. But let's see how it goes. Well, coming up over the ridge made it interesting, but we're really going to do just fine. We're going to get in there with about 3 or 4% range, so that's not too bad. We were down to one place going up the other side of the mountain where it showed I'd get there with 1 mile left, but now it looks like about 9 or 10. It's a little disappointing. We actually got here with 7% of the battery, so we only used 93%. I was trying to get here with 5% or less. But we came down a pretty good hill into State College. I guess that's why they call it Happy Valley, home of Penn State University. And now we're going to get started charging. I had heard with the cold weather these things were getting bad charging speeds, but 128 to 130 below freezing doesn't seem bad at all. We are wrapping up this charging session. We were as high as 141 or 142. Now that we're in the 70s, we're down to 121. We're going to go ahead and go to 80%. Then we're going to unhook. We're going to go to our next station, which is Charge Point at the Onvo Travel Plaza. And then what I have the destination set right now is not Frank's apartment in New York, but rather the last charger I want to get before we get into the city. I want to get about 70% there, and then we'll head in and hopefully have 50 some or 60% when we get in the city. We have made it to, I don't know, this outside Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, just off Interstate 80 at the Onvo chargers. They're actually Charge Point brand manufactured, but this is the company that does it. Getting decent speed, 123. Did have quite a hard time getting started because I didn't know if this was station 1 or station 2. It's not really labeled anywhere. I wish they'd make that more clear so you could start them with the right one with the app. But we're started, we're going. We're not gonna stay here long. We're gonna stay here about 15 minutes We want to get enough to get to the station right before we get into the city. This stop really does have it all. It has the new EV fast chargers. The sign makes it look like they're pretty new. And wine. What else can you ask for? My restroom break here at the Envo turned out to be full service, so it took a little longer than I anticipated. We're up to 62%. And we actually have enough now to get into the city. I'm probably going to stay here. We're getting really good speeds, about 130 some. I don't know what I'll get at the next one, so I'll stay here till that drops off around between 70 and 80%. And then we'll plan this last stop in Newark, and then we'll be in the city. We are 17 miles from Frank's apartment, and we had 39% when I pulled in, but I decided I would stop here and charge because when I get into Manhattan, I just don't know that area well enough. I don't know it at all as far as charging and especially parking. I'm actually more worried about parking than charging, although one kind of goes with the other, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and get charged up here. The 350 kW charger that I was trying to use is broken. So I'm using the 100 kW, and I don't know what I'm getting. I'm probably getting about 80. So we'll be here for a little bit. Maybe I'll get, I don't know, 60% or so, and then we'll head off to the Big Apple, Midtown Manhattan. We first pulled into this station in, I'm not sure what suburb I'm in New Jersey, 17 miles from the apartment at exactly 12:15. It was exactly 8 hours later. So I'm going to say we made it there in 8 hours and 15 minutes, which is exactly what I would have planned with a gasoline-powered car. And I did have a long bathroom break, so that's probably the extra 15 minutes. So I really didn't see any difference in time. I had very little traffic, so that helped on this trip using the electric vehicle other than the gas vehicle. All right, we are back on Interstate 280 East. I think this takes me to the Holland Tunnel under the river to get to Manhattan. It says we will be there in 30 minutes, 16 miles. So I suspect we're going to run into some stiffer traffic than we have now. I was not foolish enough to come here and not have any idea where I would charge in the city. I did find a parking garage with a J1772 that I think the truck will fit in. And then another parking garage maybe 10 blocks away from his apartment with some fast chargers in them. So we do have places to go, but I wanted to get in there and start packing right away, let him unpack right away. So I'm going to go right to the apartment first, and then probably be driving around the block a lot, because I don't think there's anywhere to park for him to unload. So I think we're going to stop in the street, throw some stuff out, I'll drive away, he'll take it upstairs. That's the plan, we'll see how it goes. The first view of the city. In the distance, this is Newark in the foreground. In the background, though, is New York City. If they ever open up this drawbridge, it must really back traffic up, as much traffic as there is. To have to stop everybody for a drawbridge seems problematic. I'm trusting the GPS completely. Surprising back there, we were on a street with some traffic lights actually, so it's not all interstate. So we'll see where this takes us next. Tunnels to New York. That sounds right to me. Another drawbridge here, and then we'll be heading into the tunnel. Yep, the Holland Tunnel. We left that last charger back there with 76% state of charge. I believe it's going to take 6% to get to his apartment, so we should get there with 70%, or close to that, which is plenty. If we have to go even out of the city to find a charger, we'll have plenty enough to do that. problem in New York is not so much charging. It's really not a problem. The problem is having a vehicle at all, and certainly having a large vehicle. Here we have to move the Rivian R1S to get at my Lightning. Very tight parking garage. And when you can find a place to park in a parking garage, the rates are quite pricey. A bicycle costs $6 a day. This 2 blocks from his apartment is the closest I could get to even stop illegally. So we're gonna throw some stuff off and then move the truck. Pro move for the illegal parking, have truck plates. Fun fact, floor 0 doesn't count. So he's really up 6 flights of steps. The ground floor is 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything has to go up those 6 flights of narrow stairs. Oh joy. This is the Delancey and Essex Municipal Parking Garage. They have EV Connect chargers here in the corner. I could not get it to work with my Connect app. I had to use a credit card, but that worked just fine. I didn't need to charge. I have plenty of capacity. I just want to show that if you're in the city and you need a place to charge, they've got them. There's also near Frank's apartment a level 2 charger where you can park overnight. It's also in a parking garage. I was a little worried about the height on that one. This one I know I fit in. So yeah, electric vehicles in the city are great because you go such small distances at low speed that a charge lasts forever because you just aren't using the battery. But if you come from out of town like me and you need a place to charge, here you go. I didn't need to make that stop in New Jersey yesterday because I could have just come right here. I do see that we're only getting 43, 44, maybe we'll get up to 45 kilowatts. It's a 150 kilowatt charger. I'm not sure why it's throttled down so badly. Yes, I have 69%, but I should still be drawing 120 or so. So good thing we don't really need a lot, or like the other cars, you just leave it sit here. And they also have over there some level 2 chargers. So if you're gonna be here for a while, just plug into that and you don't have to worry about idling fees when you get your battery gets full. So they pretty well got it covered, I'd say. Parking in the city is so expensive and such a hassle that Frank actually sold his car before he moved, and he will be using public transportation and these very neat bike sharing program to get around to see the sights of the city. Hey, I can't say enough about the bike sharing program here. Between the subway and the bikes, it really does make having a car in the city more of a burden than a help, electric or otherwise. These happen to be electric bikes from the city bike program. They have electric and manual. We like the electric bikes because we're what? Lazy, yes. We had a wonderful time helping Frank move and visiting with him. We spent about 2 days in New York, 2.5 days, ate a lot, ate too much, all kinds of ethnic food, Korean barbecue, had some New York style pizza. It was a good time. Saw a show, went to the Cavs game. Really enjoyed my stay here. But it's time to go. We're leaving with 80%, 87% battery. And we are headed for Sanibel ultimately, although we're not going that far in one day. Looks like we're going to get into Delaware before we need to charge. I know it has me stopping at a place somewhere by Philadelphia, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we'll go all the way down here to Delaware, and then we will head down the Delmarva Peninsula. We're going to go across Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, but that'll be tomorrow morning. We're going to stop just south of Ocean City for a hotel and I think a charger. Here we are coming back out of the Holland Tunnel into Jersey City, New Jersey. So just like that, we've changed states. We're no longer in New York City. We're no longer in New York State. Now we're going to head south. Because we left New York City with 87%, we were able to drive all the way out of the city through New Jersey, through Philadelphia, well into Delaware, now in Milford, Delaware, at the Blink Charger at Royal Farms. Royal Farms, by the way, is known for their outstanding chicken. So if you ever are charging at Royal Farms, go in and have their fried chicken. It's really good. So we are charging here. We're going to charge not that long because we're going to go down to Chincoteague Island, I believe it is, Maryland. There's a Hampton Inn there that has a wall outlet. We're probably not going to use that, but there's in town there's a couple J1772 chargers. So we're going to park at one of those and charge while we sleep. Always the best thing to do. Charge while you're not doing anything else. Since this is only a 60 kilowatt maximum charger, didn't actually see what we're getting. Probably close to that based on the percentages we're getting. We're not going to stay that long, as I said. We're only going to try to get down here to Chincoteague. And like I say, there's a Hampton Inn there I'll be staying at. And then there are some J1772 chargers. And we'll charge all night. Be ready to go in the morning. This charger is rated at 60 kilowatts. I've been on it for 59 minutes. Well, here in 5 seconds it'll be 1 hour. And I've got 60 kilowatts. 60 isn't that fast, but at least I'm getting everything it has. We are at the Blink Chargers on Chincoteague Island, just like we planned. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay in this hotel that they're at or go to the Hampton Inn, which I get a better rate at. Anyhow, these do cost. They're not provided by the hotel for their guests necessarily. They're for anyone. And by just before 8 a.m. tomorrow, we will have 100% charge and be ready to go. Oh yeah. Well, good morning from the Marina Bay Inn in Chincoteague, Virginia. Not Maryland, actually Virginia. Looking out over the bay. I decided to stay here tonight. They put the chargers in. They deserve my business. And I'm glad I did, because the walk to the Hampton Inn was 15 minutes, which would have been fine last night, but it's raining this morning. But it is still a beautiful day, because while I was sleeping, the truck magically charged to 100%. So we'll be leaving today, heading down to Sanibel from here in the very northeast tip of Virginia with a full charge. I thought I could make it to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. There's Electrify America station there at the intersection of Interstate 95 and Route 64. But the weather's really been crappy. We have gotten 238 miles of range so far. We're down to 9 miles of range, 3%, which sounds about right. And that's about 15 miles away. So we're not going to make it. We're going to have to stop at a charge point or J1772. I got to do something, because I will not make it with with that little bit of range. I didn't quite use all the battery. We're here with 2% left, so I only used 98% of the battery. 6 miles of range. But we're at the charge point. Now, this is not a real fast charger. This is a 62.5 kilowatt charger. So I'm only going to get enough here so I can get to the interstate and to that Electrify America, because they've got 350s there, I know. So we'll just be here maybe 15 minutes, but we made it. We took this route down through Ocean City, Maryland, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, down what they call the Delmarva Peninsula, to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel for 2 reasons. First of all, we wanted to avoid the traffic of Baltimore and especially Washington, D.C. And second of all, we wanted to let you see the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Unfortunately, as you did see, the weather was atrocious. It not only affected our range, but it certainly affected our ability to get a good look at the bridge tunnel. But it is an engineering marvel, something if you're in the area you should try to see. There used to be an observation deck, but I see that was closed, not just for the weather, but I think they're rebuilding it. So that wasn't open right now, but it's quite an interesting place. So we're just going to finish charging here for a few more minutes and head over to Rocky Mount, North Carolina to the Electrify America. We thank the local electric cooperative, and the sign back there says the partnership with the state of North Carolina. So thanks to them and ChargePoint for this charger. I had a little bit of trouble with station 4. I could not get it to recognize the plug in the truck. It seems to be working, but it wouldn't recognize the truck. So I moved over to station 2, where we were getting 155 kilowatts, 156. I think actually as we get above 5%, it may even go up to 170 or 180. So this will be much faster than we were getting at the other station, although this is a little more expensive. I have not really videotaped much on Interstate 75 in North Carolina and now South Carolina. I've skipped 2 charging stations. It's mostly been construction, and I guess this is the nice scenery of the trip, but weather's not that great. I skipped 2 charging stations because I am going to stay at this next one for a long time, because it is the one, the only Buc-ee's with a charger. Oh yeah, might not be the only. What is that I see in the distance? It looks like a beaver. It is Buc-ee's with DC fast chargers. Pretty exciting stuff. As I've said so many times, this only makes sense. A place where you're going to be spending time. They're known for their food. They're really known for their clean restrooms, honestly, and their food and things like that. So why not have chargers here where you have a captive audience in some respects? People that are going to be here for a while, they're going to go in and go to the bathroom. They're probably going to get something to drink. They might get something to eat. And Buc-ee's has so much more as well. They have, you know, grills, and they sell just about everything in there. It's kind of amazing. Maybe I'll get some video inside the store. Okay, I see the Tesla chargers, which are nice, and we'll be using those here hopefully in a few weeks. Now I have to find the ChargePoint chargers, though. You'd think they'd be in the same general area because they bring the power in there, but I don't see them here. So we'll keep riding around until we find them. I think I found them. If I could get this fellow to move out of my way, we could pull up to him. But he is in absolutely no hurry whatsoever. Now what's he gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. So these are Mercedes-Benz branded, but I believe they're ChargePoint chargers. So we're gonna see how we pay for these. All right, so they are ChargePoint chargers. I don't know why it wants me to keep asking if I'm going to stop charging. They are 400 kilowatt. Not that the truck can take that much, but that's pretty amazing. But then here is the outside of the Buc-ee's. This is kind of the back corner. The first huge area of pumps is gasoline, and then diesel over there. Let's go inside. So I'm pretty sure there are 60 gas pumps. Gas, diesel, diesel electric, diesel, DEF, diesel something fluid. Diesel emission fluid, anyhow, that diesel fluid. They have everything. Let's go in the store. And if you're looking for work, not too bad. So they certainly have ice. They have barbecue grills, they have fire pits.
Did I show you the
They have firewood for their fire pits.
I'll send
There he is, the man himself, Bucky. We did our tour of Buc-ee's, used their very clean restrooms, got some jerky, a drink, and some chocolate, all Buc-ee branded. And I get out here and it's 85% done. So we're gonna hit the road right away. One of those stops where you have more fun than it takes time to charge the vehicle. While they don't have any specific pull-through stations, I think with all the space around here, having a trailer would not be a bad problem here at this location. You could pull up over there and come in that way. You could kind of wrap around this light pole here and go to that one. So I think this is pretty trailer friendly. Well, all right, we made quick work of the rest of South Carolina. That Buc-ee's was in Florence, South Carolina. We are now into Georgia. We're just outside Savannah. I believe this is Pooler, Georgia. We're here at the Electrify America at the Walmart Supercenter. We are getting 159 kilowatts on our charge. We're not going to stay here real long because it's about 8 o'clock, 8:30. I'm not going to make it to Sanibel today. If I drove all night, I could get there basically in the morning, about 6 o'clock, and be tired and miserable. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my normal sleep tonight, stop at a hotel. I found a hotel outside of Jacksonville, Florida, that has a destination charger. So we'll go ahead and charge enough to get there, then we'll plug in there, charge while we're sleeping again like we did last night, and then head on down to Sanibel. We have arrived at the Hilton Garden Inn, Jacksonville North Airport, something or other, yada, 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 with the Tesla destination charger, which is I think a 7 kilowatt charger. It says by 10:32 a.m. I will be at 100%. I will not be here at 10:32 a.m., but I bet you by 8 a.m. I'm close to 90%. And that'll be a good way to start our day tomorrow. We have about 8 more hours to get home, and then we will be back on Sanibel Island. See you in the morning. Good morning from the Hilton Garden Inn, right? Hilton Garden Inn, Jacksonville, where we had a nice night's sleep, had a nice breakfast, and the truck is at 81% state of charge, ready to head to Sanibel. I think we'll only need 2 charging stops to be able to get home. If I push it to this waypoint, which is the Electrify America at the Simon Premium Outlets north of Tampa, it is 35 miles. If I get there, I won't have to stop and charge again. I have 36 miles of range to go 35 miles. What could possibly go wrong? If I go one exit further, there's another, I think it's Electrify America. No, it might be EVgo. Anyhow, it's got much better reviews than the one at the outlet center, and I have that programmed in. It says I have an 8-mile buffer now. I'm not quite sure how I gained so much, but we're gonna go for that one just to be very bold and daring. I do not recommend trying this yourself. I got here with 1%. I think that's the lowest I've ever gotten to a charger away from home. We're gonna get plugged in. We'll be here about 20 minutes and then we'll head for Sanibel. It was even closer than I thought. The machine actually had it at 0% when I first pulled up. Now it's back up to 1%. As you can see, with that low state of charge, we're gonna get really good speeds. Despite the first charger I hooked up to faulting out on me. I have managed to charge up to 63%, about 192 miles of range. We have 151 miles. I know I got a good charger sitting at home, so let's hit the road. We are back where it all began, our 4,000 mile Odyssey, which wasn't quite 4,000 miles, but we'll get to that. You see, I ran a few errands and I got back with a still healthy 2%, 7 miles of range. The trip from Cleveland to New York City to SANIBEL was 1,828 miles. We averaged 1.9 miles per kilowatt hour. The total Odyssey from SANIBEL to Cleveland to Columbus to Cleveland to Columbus to Cleveland to New York to SANIBEL was not quite 4,000 miles. It was 3,889 miles, and we averaged 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour. We hope that you've enjoyed this video of our trip from Cleveland to and around New York City and then down to Sanibel Island, Florida. If you did, please hit that like button. As always, please subscribe and please hit that bell button to be notified of our upcoming content. Thank you!